Welcome back, guys. Second series of the night. Team Alternate up against Alliance. I'm Durka, once again in the JD studios, and we should be ready to get straight into this. Draft has begun, and both teams are ready to get into the thick of things as I close that little window up there. Yeah, showing off my co-caster, Clairvoyance. Welcome. How you doing?
Doing quite all right, man. We had a little bit of break since that last game, and a break we certainly needed, as you said, to mull over the loss on the side of NIP, and of course the convincing victory 2-0 for Liquid. And now we have Alliance versus Alternate Attacks. ATN is a team that back when I used to bet, because I lost everything now, but I used to bet on these guys because people had no idea who these guys were.
Yeah.
But they're like a pretty good tier 2 team. And they ended up beating a lot of teams. Like it was like around the time just before TI when Burden United versus Alternate Attacks was like every finals of like a small LAN or a small tournament online in Europe. And these guys are pretty good.
Yeah, I started watching them a while back, and I kept thinking they were very similar to what Vega used to do. You know, they loved their tiny wisp. They had a few pocket strats here and there, and they seemed very strong. A roster that's been together for quite some time as well. You know, they're all a full Polish squad, but they haven't really flourished as Vega have. You know, Vega obviously changing a few players in and out, bringing in Solo and Mag, and really building up their sort of star-studded lineup. Team Alternate, they need that one push, you know, they need that one big sort of tournament win or something like that to show that they do have the skills behind the drafts that they've got. Up against Alliance, you know, in the defense, maybe this is their time to shine. Maybe this is where they'll show what they're made of. But Alliance start things off with the Wisp, Queen of Pain, so they've got Arcade's Hero as well as S4s, while Alternate, Undying plus Tusk. And I love the fact that Alliance, they've done their homework on this one. First phase ban, Shadow Fiend and Bane. Alternate, they love their Bane Invoker combos, they love their Shadow Fiend towards the middle lane as well, but Alternate, meta bans, you know, Broodmother Doom, nothing too surprising there.
It really is time to show up against Alliance. Alliance, I would say, especially with their entry into the majors now, they're looking a lot stronger than people gave them credit for at the start. You know, initially they were all over the place, they couldn't find their groove, and obviously a lot of flack being thrown on S4 personally because of the post-TI effect where he couldn't secure that high placement as people expected Team Secret to do so. And it came back to the original roster, the TI winning roster, might I say. And of course, minus the EGM plus the nuts. But it's a strong roster. You know, any team with a player like S4 that captains, who understands Dota so well, it's going to have potential to be really good.
Sorry, continue.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say with additions like Bulldog and Loda, who've been playing for the game forever, Alke and Bulldog especially, like he's such a good specialist, you know, it's gonna get somewhere eventually.
Yeah, definitely. I only just realized that he's actually changed his name to Nuts, so no longer My Nuts, just Nuts, the Nuts.
Yep.
But Alternate take out the Tiny, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a Chaos Knight ban. Sometimes it's regarded as almost a waste of a ban, but against Alliance, who have run this time and time again, and Loda knows the hero inside out, the Chaos Knight wouldn't... it would be a pretty sound ban. Interesting, though, that Alliance take out the Templar Assassin. Don't want that Team Alternate hero running around, farming stacks, taking Ancients and things like that. Now, Alternate, they're kind of known for their Invoker play from the safe lane. I'm wondering if they'll bring it out in Game 1 here just to kind of, you know, do the whole shock and awe kind of thing. Because they've shown good success with it from the safe lane, going Exort Invoker and going for this sort of Wex Exort Alacrity as soon as you can, Invoker to deal with offlaners. Because you can, like, Invoker's seen as a weak laning hero because usually you either go Wex, Quas, or Quas Exort, and you don't open up the Alacrity until, you know, level 9, 10, 11 or something. But with the way that Supreme plays it, you can demolish heroes. We've seen Invoker win against the Darkseer early on.
Yeah. It's with the recent changes, the Wex Exort is definitely a viable build. It just allows. What happens is because people have this mindset that Quas is a necessity for Invoker to win the lane, and in the past it was because it had a lot better stats. The Cold Snap did a lot more damage, and of course free regen is always a positive. But yeah, if you do Wex Exort, you just have to figure out a way to sustain, and it's a pub build to go like Mask of Madness and just go for a pure right click thing, but there are definitely a lot of things that like untapped potential with the hero, especially with the recent changes. That's how Ice Frog does his changes to the heroes. He buffs the aspects and he doesn't like Alacrity. If you look at it, it hasn't gotten like the biggest buff in the world. It's a pretty significant change for sure, but it's just numbers that are there to really help you recognize how strong it really was, you know. And back then, nobody would have given the time of day to Alacrity build with the Wex X Sword opening. But people now, they recognize that it's strong and it can win you the CS battle early.
Yeah, definitely. But it looks like they're going to go for something a little more standard by their regards anyway. Now, Nightstalker, Tusk, Undying. 3 heroes who like running at you, 3 tanky-ass heroes, but this is heavily reliant on laning phase. You want to control the anti-mage's lane, make sure he gets a lot of farm. But what do they throw towards the middle lane? Because all 3 of the first picks could be off-laners, could be supports. Nightstalker could even go towards the mid.
I think it is going to be a mid Nightstalker, given how it is, because I mean, the AM pick kind of puts a question mark on it, because you could do it like Monkeys, where you have Undying Tusk safe lane babysitting the AM, and it works because those heroes are so ridiculously strong and they can get on top of you very easily with the snowball. But in terms of how optimal it could be against the potential dual lane coming out of Alliance, I'm not too sure. The Slaughter's pick is still open. I'm not too sure if the Europeans opt for it that much, but it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, we saw a ton of Slardar at MLG, but also before that a decent amount during the Frankfurt qualifiers. And Loda, you know, Slardar's always been kind of one of his heroes. The brown boots into Blink, and then Treads Midas, which he used to love going for. And then Slardar plus Wisp, you can combo that up pretty nicely. I don't really have too many Wisp natural pairing heroes left out there. But I'm wondering if they go for Bulldog's hero first. He's been playing a ton of Nature's Prophet and stuff like that. But there we go. Loda, another one of his signature heroes, Sven, with a Wisp. And they're leaving Bulldogs till last.
I think the Sven's okay. I kind of feel like they might get choked out around the map, honestly, with the Sven pick. Because Sven, if you play him as a hard carry, you don't max stun. And even if, like, what happens is, it's like the Tinker thing, where if you max stun or max the early game potential with your double nuke, you end up in this place after 10 minutes where you can't farm effectively. And you have to be able to farm as a carry hero. If you want to carry, you have to farm. And with the Wisp, of course, it's a very strong pairing as always. But I'm kind of worried because alternate attacks just showed, like, they're not hiding any cards. The last pick they have in mind is definitely going to be some intel-based hero, some spellcasting hero with a stun. Possibly like a 5-position hero, and I guess Bane would pretty much fit the perfect criteria for that. But it's like if you pick the Sven here, you need to survive the laning phase, and even if you survive the laning phase, you're still going up against an anti-mage. So I'm not too sure if that was the optimal pick. I think it was kind of something that they were forced into because they picked 3 intel heroes at the start. I mean, Wisp is a strength hero, but it's very squishy. So they have 3 very squishy heroes at the start against a Tusk and a Nightstalker and Undying, right? And your lineup kind of looks very, very vulnerable. So I think they picked it up more as like an insurance thing for the mid game.
So final ban here for Alliance. You know, you can look at this and wonder if they need a final support hero or anything like that. You know, Winter Wyvern, Witch Doctor, things like that wouldn't be bad to ban out if you assume Nightstalker mid, Tusk Undying maybe off lane, and then AM needs the +1 to support him down on the safe lane. I think Winter Wyvern could be decent, but yeah, Witch Doctor,
I think Witch Doctor was actually, Witch Doctor was definitely the perfect one. Okay. You could combat the heal of a potential Dazzle dual lane, and you could most importantly offer a stun, and it's a multi-target stun to keep in mind because it's good against the Wisp Sven as well. So yeah, they got that banned out, and honestly, alternate attacks, they do have a lot of options. It doesn't have to be limited to that. You could still be a Lion. You could still pick. You could even pick Lina, for example, because this lineup is so aggressive. The Lina will get the space to get levels up, and all you really need is levels right now, so long as you can hit your stun. So there's a lot of options with the intelligence hero pool that they can pick here.
And then what's left for Bulldog? Because Lone Druid, you know, maybe starts going back into things for him, but
Lone Druid is good against Nightstalker because Nightstalker has like a fixed amount of damage. But okay, there it is, man.
Okay. I really wasn't expecting it. Like, you know, early on in the draft, I thought Tusk Undying, maybe they go for the Invoker, maybe, but with a Nightstalker Anti-Mage taken up after that.
Yeah, they're gonna play like Monkeys, I think. Monkeys, Monkey Business. They're gonna have like Tusk Undying support or Undying Nightstalker or Tusk Nightstalker, Again, it's the meta of the strength heroes, man. These heroes have like no mana costs. They sustain perfectly with just one magic wand, and it's kind of unfair for some of the other attribute heroes in the game, like the intel heroes.
It's kind of weird though, because usually alternate they play the Invoker in the safe lane, and they just farm him up and get things running that way. So I wonder, anti-mage towards the mid, poor man shield first, pull him a couple of tangos, and then run around causing havoc everywhere.
I mean, that old style of AM is so obsolete now. I'm not sure how good it is. I mean, it could certainly be viable, but it's not something I would recommend. Plus, Invoker does well against Quap at mid.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I was just thinking I think their options are open, because if you're expecting the Darkseer to get picked up by Alliance, which was a definite possibility there, then you know that you're going to do decently in the 1v1, especially once you get up to like level 3, 4 with your alacrity up. But Beastmaster, good shout. Going to be able to get himself in there. But yeah, Exotic Deer going to take the Anti-Mage. And Supreme over on the Invoker. Now, Sasu, their off-lane player, Nightstalker going to be up for him. Tusk and Undying, like you mentioned before. The two early pickups going to be their supports. But Alliance, they've got Heal, they've got Sustain, they've got a ton of magical damage. But the physical damage they get is not too bad either. With the Weave, the hits out from Sven, and they've got a ton of auras, you know? Lots of minus armor, the Inner Beast from Beastmaster. If they can catch Anti-Mage or Invoker, who one of which is relatively squishy early on, and the other which doesn't have too much escape, or too many escape mechanisms, unless he gets into like Force and Blink. This Invoker, he's going to have a decent time early, but I worry about him later on. You know, Orchid from Quap stuns out from Sven and Beastmaster. It's going to come down a lot to ATN's positioning in these team fights.
I think I go the other way, actually. I think for me, ATN, their lineup is like way easier to play. Again, entirely because Alliance's lineup have like, for one, they have like some higher skill cap heroes. It's kind of weird to put it this way, but like maneuvering a Queen of Pain against Tuskar and Nightstalker and Invoker, like Anti-Mage even, because AM's mana burn is huge with the Mana Void. It's not as easy. And also Wisp is very squishy, and Beastmaster too. It's like, unless he gets like the safe lane this game, which I don't think he will, he's not going to have the easiest time in the lane, I don't think, even if he's up against like tri-melees or something like that. And I feel like Alliance, they have to play their cards correctly. They can certainly win, but like how hard they can repel the early game aggression from the Tusk, Undying, and Nightstalker is the real question mark for me here.
So if they get run at early on, actually trying to mitigate the damage that's thrown at them, yeah. Nisha up towards top with the Tusk, and they've got Sasu as well. You know, this Nightstalker plus Tusk. Tusk can just run himself around from top to mid. And it looks like they're going to place a ward relatively deep in here. Want to get one towards the pull spot, but 5-man movement in. The Dar Observer Ward has already seen this Anti-Mage who's heading down towards the bottom lane. And if they can stun him up for long enough, what have they got? They've got one stun. It's not going to be enough to kill him off, is it?
They pinged it out. I think ATN are well aware that they're here. I don't think they know about the ward, because this is just what the game's developed into. Now supports start TPing to mid lane, to walk down to the Radiant, to jungle. It's just hard to scout out anything without TPing in these days.
Oh, are they going to go the way that you said? Beastmaster's heading up towards top. Yep. And an aggro trial in here of Wisps, Ven plus Dazzle.
Yeah, again, it's gonna be rough, man. It's all dependent on like how they jump, who jumps first, kind of thing. Both tri-lanes have the potential to turn the fight on the other.
Well, top rune spot, the contest begins. Ice Shards will not block anyone out, but it'll hold Alliance in a position where they have to kind of fight into this with the Shadow Wave. The damage is pretty hefty down onto Nisha, and S4, he's going to be forced to burn through his first shared tango with Sasu. Sasu, he runs back in to try and kill off S4, but these balls, they're slowing everyone down, and Team Alternate, they've burnt through a lot of their HP as well. Nisha still battling it out with Beastmaster.
Oh, never mind.
Hang on a second.
Oh, wow.
Not sure how that happens. As we're watching all the action up at top, actually a kill goes the way of Sven. Interesting.
Interesting indeed, yeah. And now the lane's pushed, so Loda's at the very least, Loda's going to get some free CS before the Tusk is able to rotate in. It looks like he's starting to walk now.
Undying has died again. He's walked into the middle of a Shadow Wave, and even with a decay up, Loda just smacks into him. That's 2 deaths in very quick succession from the Undying, and I've got to wonder, what's he up to?
He poured it in for that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not too sure, man.
He's going to have to walk back to the lane now.
Not too sure. So Nisha makes his way down here with the Ice Shards. And middle lane Supreme with his cross into Cold Snap. S4 salves himself up and should be okay here. But top is the interesting one. Night Stalker against Beastmaster. The boars, the axes. You know, Night Stalker's tanky, 650-ish HP with the 5 armor he starts off with. It's rough, you know, the boars sort of chip away a little bit, but it's nothing really noticeable. Especially when you've got a mango up on you. That 1 HP regen is pretty hefty.
It is annoying though. I think Beastmaster beats like every melee hero in a 1v1 on the side lane. This boar, the slow is actually, it makes it impossible to trade. But as I say that, Bulldog's just tanking right clicks on right clicks. Wow, I'm surprised he let that situation happen. He just went for a creep and took like 4 hits for free. I do want to say one thing. I've been getting word that I can't be heard in the game.
Oh, you have to turn on your in-game mic, sorry.
Oh, it's okay, it's on me, huh? Alright.
No, I forgot to tell you. We've switched up the studios a little bit here. I'm in the big studio that's meant to have a caster with me in-house, but the boys have just come back from MLG. That's my bad.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Oh, Supreme, dead mid. Yep, the final right clicks in. And Nuts is going to survive on a tiny amount of HP.
Sorry, I don't know how to do this on Reborn. When I'm on audio, which mic do I turn on? Is it voice team? Or?
Yeah, team. Okay. And you turn on... It's really confusing. There's no, like, just turn on open mic anymore. There's, like, 3 different buttons. Which one do I press?
Well, I hope that works now.
Good stuff. Well, S4, he's been chased down a little bit here. Tusk is still level 1, though, and Supreme, 2 points in the quest, none in Exort. Maybe with a Cold Snap. Look for a kill onto S4, but he's going to be okay there. Up at top. Bulldog actually down at bottom lane. Loader, he's taking a bit of damage here. Exotic Deer, 1 point in the mana break, but they're going to run forward with a Wisp. The tombstone's dropped, but it's not going to last long. Look at that, it lasts half a second. And Loader's got another stun in 10 seconds time, but I'm not sure he'll even need it. As they chase down the Undying, meanwhile, on the back end, Arcade's going to drop, but not before the Undying does, and Arcade survives. With a Shadow Wave that heals, the Tango through, and that Decay wearing off. Anti-Mage hides away in the trees. They're going to wait for his blink out.
Yeah, this is I don't know, man. The early deaths on Undying, I feel like they're totally uncalled for, and it's having its impact on the lane. The support's getting a lot more EXP than they should, being able to get aggressive while the Undying is down. And in the meantime, what are they getting on the other parts of the map? Like, this Tusk has been hovering over bottom and top for a long time. He's not even level 2 yet, so he can't snowball. I guess they're waiting on nighttime to make a play, but by then, Bulldog is already level 5, so he's going to be able to scout out or at least slow one of them with a boar. This is not going good right now. They're not getting the effective trades that they want to. And Supreme, you know, the player you mentioned about the Invoker, he's forced into a Wex Quas build. You know, for all the Exort Wex build that we were hoping to see, if you're forced into a different build because of the lane matchup in the early game, you're already at a pretty heavy loss, I would say.
Oh, Bulldog. Tried the TP out there knowing the Void was on cooldown, but Nisha was waiting in the wings. He'll throw the axes, but that's his death. Beastmaster drops to the Roman. And Tusk getting closer to level 3 now. But down at bottom lane, Loader has like infinite stuns. He's got 7 stick charges, he's got Nuts just healing him up, regenerating that mana. And Exotic Deer, the anti-mage, 12 last hits, it's not bad. Blinks himself away, but this isn't the situation you want to be in. Oh, this tombstone. Is this free gold for Loader as he walks forward, walks back? He doesn't want to commit to this one. And they'll just focus down on this tier 1. They will get the tombstone as they dive back. It dies so quickly, honestly.
Yeah. You know, how the tombstone has to be placed now is that you have to force them to commit to it, and to the point where when they commit to it, even if it's so easy to kill, they die. And speaking of deaths, this Undying, is he going to fall again?
It looks like it. No tombstone, no decay, no soul rip. The shards will come in, but they're not going to block anybody out. Snowball to save him for a couple of seconds here, but they'll just take them back into the Wisp, and Loader should be able to clear this one up with a stun. The heal out from Arcane. They've killed off Undying, and Exotic Deer, the anti-mage, he's in here with a Night Stalker chasing them down. They'll find the Void onto the Dazzle. But Nuts, Sonic Wave! S4 joins the fight and says, thank you very much, I'll take a couple of kills. Double up for him. And Sasu cannot still find the kill onto the Wisp. Even with a Void, he won't be able to kill him off. Another hit in will... Oh, no, not quite. He will secure it finally. But he'll give up his life for this. There's a stick charge, there's a blink, and S4 will jump himself forward and allow Loader to get himself up to a mega kill. 5-0-2 with 1,200 gold. What is his net worth? 3,400 pretty much across the Sven, and then 33 on the Quap.
Yep, it'll be 4K pretty soon, as long as ATN doesn't send some heroes bottom with TPs, because that tower is sitting at 200 HP, and with his cleave, he's going to push out the wave here, as you can see now.
Well, Alliance 8-3 up. Beastmaster's having a decent time up at top lane. You know, it's not amazing. He's still a little bit behind the Night Stalker, but now he's against an anti-mage. Like you said, against melee heroes, the majority of the time, the Beastmaster just bullies them and bullies them. And with these double boards out, the fact that AM doesn't have a Ring of Health, doesn't have any sustain really, apart from the 3 tangos he's still got himself. And you look towards mid. Invoker being pinged out. They want to jump on this.
ATN basically has a lot of easy to execute early game heroes for their lane, and as I say, that Invoker will probably he'll survive. He has the Ghost Walk available, but S4 is gonna go for another nuke, and if he kills him,
the Shadow Strike is killing him with the poison,
isn't it?
He's dead. Double poison. That Invoker's got to be so upset with that. Up at top, Bulldog being chased. Exotic D, he wants this kill so badly with the shards. Still not securing it quite. They'll get the anti-mage into the thick of things and bring him down. But look at who's joined in. S4 is back up here and looking for kills. Dodges with Snowball. Back to the catapult. But there's no real escape from this one. Dazzle dies on the back end. Nisha loses his life for that. But Beastmaster plus Dazzle for the Invoker plus Tusk in the grand scheme of things, while Loda is farming freely down the bottom lane. And with an Ogre Club, I'm not feeling the rushed BKB here. What do you think?
Honestly, I think he's gonna go SNY. Yeah, he's going SNY. He's got the Sange. He's probably gonna get Yasha after, and so then you can build him in multiple different ways. And I don't know what the most efficient build is every game. Eventually, he might want a BKB, but this is definitely not the game because he's snowballing so hard. I don't think he needs it.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of players in like FPL NA and maybe even in official games going, maybe not official, but Sange and Yasha Helm of the Dominator spend and just like padding out your stats, building yourself up, and it's really overtaken the Mom BKB build.
The Mom BKB build is still probably superior. Like Mom is an item that makes event. Like the attack speed is so ridiculously good, but with the Helm of Dominator build, if you just assume that you're gonna get farm, and as I say that, Night Stalker gets picked off during the daytime. That's why you're a Night Stalker, not a Day Stalker. It's gonna, pardon me, there's some more kills at bottom.
Yeah, I'm just watching this back and forth. They keep going in and then going out. Nuts is trapped here with the cold snap though, and he should drop. Oh, Loda, retreat. Time to run, time to hide. Tornado EMP, gonna drain a lot of his mana, but S4, he wants in again. He's got a Sonic, no, he doesn't have a Sonic Wave actually. They've got a stun, and there's no cooldown on Invoke here, so Supreme in a little bit of trouble as the Tombstone's still stacking up the zombies, and Arcane will keep his team nice and healthy. But Team Alternate, forced to bring 3 or 4 heroes down here just to deal with the tiny wisp.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, it's a lot of movement that they're forced to again due to the laning phase, and Loda's going in again.
Of course he is. Supreme.
Kills on kills.
He's got EMP. He can Ghost Walk if he wants to, but I think it might just be it. Oh, there we go. He gets Invis. Shadow Strike's not going to chip him down this time. S4, not feeling the blink forward as it was on cooldown, and couldn't go in for that kill. But this is rough as the Invoker. You know, you got Phase Boots, null. Nowhere near a 4-staff. You're not going to go for the drums or anything like that. You'd love to have, you know, maybe an urn. We've seen that a couple of times, just as a stopgap item to build yourself up a tiny bit. But the Orchid, the item that you're aiming for, is this Quas Wexen. Oh god, oh, it died for that one, huh?
Man, this is just a run over. There's 19 kills in this game in 9 minutes and 30 seconds. There's almost 2 kills a minute. This is like, is alternate attack Russian?
Polish.
Oh, the Polish, right? Okay. They're looking a lot like Russian Dota though, with all the kills going back and forth. Holy smokes!
Run at them, get. But the exactly. Like, but the thing is, like, Alliance are really fighting back. They know that Team Alternate have a lineup that runs at them with Undying, Tusk, Night Stalker.
Yeah.
During the nighttime, it's just like
honestly
charge.
though, man, it's definitely the early game though. You know that double death on Undying. I have no idea what that was about. You just give up 2 kills on Undying, you don't even have TP anymore, so your lane just starts at 2 minutes and you've already given up 400 or 500 gold. You can't win a tri lane like that. I think it's way too big for this game to happen like that in the laning phase.
Well,
I have no idea what he was doing. I just wasn't watching at all, and you caught it, and I'm just sitting there going...
I didn't see the first kill. I didn't see it. Yeah. The second one, he TPs and he just walks straight back in again. But speaking of Orchids, the Invoker far from one, but Queen of Pain. First Oblivion Staff and...
Close, yeah. I mean, this is what happens, right? You lose the tri lane like that, your tier 2 dies at 10 minutes, and you're not facing a Broodmother. So something is seriously wrong here. And you have an Animage who has no space to farm whatsoever on the map. Just getting zoned out by Quap's right clicks. It's just no place on the map to be now. Tier 1 tower at mid is dead, so you can't farm that. Tier 2 tower at top, you can't farm that because Night Stalker's there, and even if you push out the Night Stalker, where does the Night Stalker go? The Day Stalker does not farm neutrals, so hope is slowly being lost.
They're smoking up behind the Queen of Pain here, it looks like. Risky stuff.
Oh, this would be a big pick if they can get it.
Oh, S4. It's nighttime. This is ballsy sticking around. And if you blink into the trees, there's Tornado EMP to catch you. So blink TP, I think he's overstayed. He's definitely overstayed now. EMP, oh no, no! The snowball will catch him, but S4, they're relocating back in with the Sonic Wave back. They're going to block him out with the shards, but Loda just charges forward with the Warcry. Stun on 3, stun on 2. They catch the AM and the Undying. The Tombstone's not going to do a damn thing as S4 jumps forward, finds one, but misses uphill. Sasu, you're in a ton of trouble, my friend. Back behind the tier 3. And you know who joins in? Bulldog is like, guys, I'm in the game as well.
Yeah, this is a push. S4 has another bottle charge and some sticks as well. They got the sustain coming out of the Dazzle, and Wisp will surely make it to the fight after the pickup of the bounty rune at bottom. This is a Rax. They can't hold this Rax push, I don't think. Well, that is if they go for it, of course.
Yeah, Loda pops the Warcry and back in he goes. Onto the tier 3. Now, Bulldog, he's got what, level 1 Necro Book. He's looking pretty good, but Orchid is done for the Queen of Pain. So S4 has a 12.5-minute Orchid with Tread's null bottle.
7.5k net worth. Yeah, at 12:30. That's a farmed Queen of Pain if I ever seen one. They're gonna Rosh now instead. They're just saying, okay, well they're all up. It's nighttime. Let's just go Roshan. They can't fight us anyway.
In they go. Man, oh man. So SNY for Loda, Nuts has earned 1,300. And Arcane, you know, the guy that rarely gets a good chunk of farm has Arcanes and a little bit of gold saved up himself. But Team Alternate, are we sure about this one? They're running towards the pit. Anti-Mage cannot fight. Anti-Mage is up at top farming, so this is going to be a 4v5 at best. With the Tombstone level 3, maybe they can make this work, but there's so much sustain. There's Wisp, there's Dazzle. Dazzle's starting up though. They need to heal him, they need to keep him alive with the Tornado EMP there. They'll burn through the Dazzle and actually take him down, but Queen of Pain is blinked up onto high ground, stunned, slowed, silenced, and the heal comes in from Wisp. Keeps him alive for now, and he's finished off. Wicked 6 streak stolen out there on Loda. He's left alone against a bunch of heroes and Team Alternate. They're actually winning this one out. They'll lose the Undying for it, but getting a couple of kills and a buyback from Quap, who TP's back down to kill off someone over to the side. Invoker, Ghost Walk ready. Runs himself away, and there's no reveal just now. That won't be coming.
My Nuts should have relocated S4 there, and S4 would have just lived and turned on them entirely without the buyback, but I guess it's fine. Again, they realized that they could take the fight at Roche, but that positioning was kind of poor on Alliance because they didn't have any vision whatsoever. Like, they didn't put a ward outside the pit either. So the smoke sort of caught them off guard, even though it shouldn't have. Regardless, the result is the same. Bulldog got the Aegis, and I don't think that's the ideal hero that they wanted it on, but everybody's so farmed. They're just going to push high ground with it when Bulldog gets book 3. And he's got it, basically, yeah. He actually just got the tier 3 tower with a boar and Necrobook. So he's got book 3 now.
The little minions taking down tier 3.
Or relocate top to the AM. He's dead.
Oh, man. Oh, man. With the Orchid. It's just too simple for S4. So they've lost their tier 3 bot. They've bought an armlet over on the Night Stalker. And they're going to go for another smoke here, it looks like. Yep, smoke on the courier. It's getting desperate for Team Alternate now.
Yeah, this is like they're just gonna go for this, and then if they lose, I think they're just gonna call the GG. They don't really have a follow-up play. It's nighttime. If they can't make use of this time, the next 16 to 20 minutes when it's daytime, they're not gonna get anything done.
Boots of travel on the Wisp, but it's not going to help you in this situation. Tombstone's drop, Nuts is dead. With the right clicks out from the Invoker, Zombie slowing him down. And meanwhile, Arcane and Loda, they're looking to maybe turn this one back around. Bulldog has Necro 3 and Roar available, and S4 was running himself down as well, but it's a minute and a half until Sonic Wave is back up. I'm wondering, do they just go charging down middle lane now?
On the side of Alliance, I think they can. I'm not sure if they want to, but they certainly can. The Wisp has like 4 Urn charges and bots, as you mentioned, so she's just going to come mid and heal up this event. Nothing stopping them whatsoever. This AM is just, he's way too shy of his farm to be relevant in any of these fights. And so it's Alliance with Aegis is going to be fighting like 6v4, and with their farm advantage, you might as well call it like a 8v4 kind of thing.
Well, that's annoying. Loda has no mana remaining, but Wisp going to bring himself back up to this one, so Nuts, yeah, tethers up and keeps Loda flowing, but this this Undying, he's got a buckler, nothing much else, a little bit of armor. He's level 6, 15, 16 minutes into this game. And if we look at levels overall, you know, the Dire have a pretty massive advantage. They've got 2 heroes closing in on 11 in the Sven and Beastmaster. Actually, they're just hit level 10, but the gap isn't that big between 10 and 11. That's 600 XP difference. While Invoker, Orchid, it's still a pipe dream for him.
Oh, they're really backing off on this. Bulldog's up here trying to hunt the AM instead of trying to close out the game.
Kill Sasu. It's not quite enough. The relocated bot nearly had him, but the relocate's going to come back. EMP. They bring Sven in. They're going to die for this. There's a weave, but no grave from Arcade, and they lose Nuts IO.
Oh, do you see top? Bulldog was trying to do this the whole time. He was hunting the anti-mage.
Oh, is he TP?
I think he got him.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
he got him, but see, like, this is... I don't know about this one. He's the one with the Aegis, and the AM is already so shut down that they could just push, and the Wisp would have never had to die, and they could just force base. I don't know why they're splitting up trying to look for this anti-mage right now. I think it's pointless.
He's got no farm, and really all you're
they
doing
could
is...
just push in middle and then walk down to bottom. And once they position up the hill, the Undying and the Undying is not high level enough to be impactful, even with max Tombstone. The Tusk just has shards, and Invoker has like no farm. They should really have closed out the game right there, I feel like.
Alliance taking it a little bit slow, a little bit steady. Hyperstone on Loader, but following it up with a BKB, it looks like he's worried. He's feeling the heat from this Invoker EMP. It's very annoying to handle, honestly, and Arcade is kind of the same.
Wisp is definitely the counter though. You just have Wisp plus like 1 or 2 mana boots, and Ake has one, so you'll just get all the mana back basically. Their sustain is really good when they're together. The issue is that they weren't together because they were all off doing their own things. And I think the result is that this Aegis is going to be useless for Bulldog now because he's just playing this hunter role kind of thing where he's just looking for a kill. He has Roar now, and I think they have a boar in position too, so they're going to try to scout out the Invoker, but he goes into Ghost Walk, so they won't be able to find him.
Well, they see the Hawk. They know they're being watched. And Bulldog had full vision of the people coming across. And they're going to get this Observer Ward as well. Sentry's ready for Nisha. He's not going to be able to take that one out. Now, Roshan respawns in a fair amount of time. 5.5 minutes or so. S4 shoving hard down at bottom lane. But Loader is farming enemy jungle. So they are definitely taking this super, super slow. Do you think they wait for next Roshan even?
I don't know. I don't think they have to, but it's like, if you want to play it safe, the best thing always is to just wait for next Roshan when you have total map control, and they do have map control. The only issue is alternate attack can definitely do what they did earlier, just smoke in with a darkness on Night Stalker, and that's always really effective at the pit, because even if you might have superior fight at the pit, if you don't have vision, you can't do anything. And Night Stalker darkness just happens to shut down all forms of vision very effectively.
Well, they're doing a good job of dewarding. Nisha taking out observers and sentries left and right. While Supreme, yeah, the Orchid. Oh, can they hunt down S4? They've got vision of him. They actually got a little peek of him there with the sentry. Seeing the Invoker in that Ghost Walk. And you want to go hunting with the Invoker. Once you get this Orchid up, just go hunt people down. Tornado, EMP, Cold Snap, kill them off, get the combo in there. And it's difficult. You know, heroes like Dazzle, okay, you can try and bring them down. But Sven, Queen of Pain even, are now building into a BKB, and the Beastmaster, who's pretty damn tanky. It's not as easy as you may think, just going around killing people. And Wisp is always going to be paired up with someone. So maybe if you loop around with the rest of your team actually going in for the full frontal assault, you can find someone in the back. But you can't go and do like you're mentioning Bulldog's doing in that solo hunter role, just finding pickoff after pickoff.
They see the Night Stalker. He has Blink. I thought he was actually going to go right there, but they're shying away from it, saying it's darkness. We don't see any of their heroes. There could be a turnaround. And I think it's acceptable to have that kind of respect at this point. They did give away a couple kills, and it could get pretty dirty. So.
Well, Anti-Mage Claymore just needs 900 gold for his Battle Fury completed. But 20 minutes, it's getting later and later. Oh, Supreme, have you been spotted? Alliance are on the hunt, and they, I think they know they caught a sniff of him, but he's going to keep himself far from the creep wave, not give away his position. And BKB is nearly done up for Loader now, so once they've got that up and running, they can maybe start charging towards them. Hawks, boars, everything in the kitchen sink given vision here for Alliance. Anti-Mage just trying to find that one little spot to farm in. But there isn't anywhere to go. Alliance are grouping up at top, and they've got the relocate to come in as well, so if they see one hero, anyone they can jump on, But Alternate, they've done a good job the past, 4 or 5 minutes or so, really after the Roche fight that they took, forcing Alliance into an uncomfortable situation. They've got control of their jungle again a little bit. They can move out of their base, maybe even cross the river, because there's tier 1 standing. Now that's gold waiting to be collected.
It's unfortunate, though, that the Night Stalker had to show himself in the process. I think the reason why Alliance is on the other side of the map is because they saw Night Stalker at bottom and said, we had the Wisp Sven there, and we don't really want to take a head-on engagement without the relocate fight, where they have the initiations coming in from Bulldog and Quap and stuff like that. So I think they're just going to wait for the next Roshan. It really looks like they're going to at this point.
Yeah, looks like it. Undying. Oh, wow. He's completed a mech. Where's he got this gold from? All of a sudden, from having a buckler and brown boots, fully completed mech. No arcanes though, so mana sustain is going to be a little bit difficult. But Team Alternate, oh, whoops, they're dragging themselves back out of this hole they dug for themselves. 8,000 net worth on your Night Stalker, heading quickly into the Aghanim Scepter even without a Midas, and his armlet. We've not seen great armlet toggling or anything like that, but it's a decent enough, just smallish item that helps you farm, helps you run around, and just gives you a little more teamfight capability. It's nothing amazing, but it's good sort of gold to effectiveness.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of it personally, but I can see its effectiveness as well. S4 actually is one of the proponents of the armlet Night Stalker back when he used to play it very frequently, and I think Universe does it too now. Because they play from the offlane position, and as a 3, you do need to do some sort of damage, and of course, Armlet is a very effective cheap damage. So that's the reasoning for the pickup, I think.
SNY BKB, loader's ready. Boots of Travel still on this Wisp. Kind of interesting that he hasn't really been able to progress too far from it, but with 1,300 gold, I guess a Glimmer Cape, something along those lines, isn't too far away. While Medallion for Ake, and they're just really starting the chokehold again. They let slip for a couple of minutes while they were trying to push top and find picks on the AM or the Invoker. And I think Invoker did a great job making them go on this wild goose chase. They chased him around and around, and they just couldn't find him as he TP'd himself away.
Yeah. Despite the fact that his farm got halted for a bit, he actually did make space for what you just said. So it was pretty decent. They need a lot more of those to happen, and I don't think Alliance is going to give them that time, though. We see nighttime, it's 3 a.m., so in about 1.5 minutes time, game time, it's going to be daytime. And Roshan's going to spawn within the next minute as well. So that means with the next Rosh, Alliance is probably going to push bottom lane where they don't have a tier 3. And nighttime is going to be over. So the only thing they can rely on now is darkness. And Night Stalker might have Axe by that point, which would be really good. So what would happen is at the base push, he has the darkness and they have to win the fight. And I'm not confident in their ability to win the fight against these BKBs, newly picked up on Sven as well as the Quap and the Aegis, of course.
Yeah, as long as Alliance can hit their spells, land their stuns, and Sonic Wave is going to be imperative, obviously, as it always is, but getting it down onto the AM or the Invoker. Tombstone they're not too worried about. It can be a little bit annoying with a level 4-1 up now, but a couple of hits from the Dazzle, the Queen of Pain, the Wisp even, and it drops pretty quickly. So, like you said, Roshan with a Medallion. Quick and easy,
and it's
no
daytime,
contest.
so the timing is perfect for them. They're gonna darkness, and again, the first darkness has to accomplish something. When they push base, if they don't do anything about the if they don't do anything with the darkness, they're just gonna lose a second and third rack as well, and it's gonna be GG for sure. This AM still, he's not nearly farmed enough to be an impact. The most important kills for Alliance right now are definitely the Tusk and the Invoker, because those are the only ones that can hold out the lanes by pushing them out and keeping them off the high ground. And again, with those heroes gone out of the picture, there's no way to defend high ground here.
Yeah, bonus armor, the weave comes out. Loader is definitely a monster right now. So even with the glyph up, Team Alternate, if they use it here, it's probably going to be a waste because they're losing these racks anyway. So hold it for one of your other tier 3s, which is Dire Structures Fortified. So either EMP going to catch? No, not going to get anybody. Anti-Mage pushing up a top, and the TP comes in from S4.
Oh wow!
But he blinks
He actually
himself away.
Dire's top tower is
Oh, did they relocate? Yeah, they relocated to try and catch the AM. I mean, that's okay, because he's going to go straight back, I assume. I don't think they should halt their push in any way. And here's the timing. Darkness hasn't popped.
Well, Tombstone's down, it's stacking up with Nuts getting the mana void. He's still alive, but Bulldog will get thrown into the air. Loader. He's still got his BKB in with a Warcry forward. He'll catch Supreme. Here comes a Scream Sonic Wave onto Nisha as well. And they'll clear him up. Nuts healed, Graved, and Sasu with the armlet on. He'll do a good chunk of damage across the Nuts, but it's not going to even have to finish him off. And Sasu is retreating out as Quap kills off the Tusk at the bottom with the DD rune. And with no buyback on your Tusk, Invoker could be forced to actually pop his, but it's going to be annoying. You've got your Glyph available, but Anti-Mage, this hero, Battle Fury, 1800 gold, you cannot fight.
That's right. Yeah, so the two most important heroes are out of the picture, and this is what happens. Alliance just walks up to high ground. They don't care about anything else right now because their creeps cannot die, which means their heroes cannot die. And this is the second Rax for sure.
Well, 26 minutes in, 2 lanes of Rax, Team Alternate on the ropes, definitely, and they could potentially go for a third here, but it's like Alliance just going to back themselves up with no mana left on the Wisp and half mana on your Dazzle. The sustain you get from these heroes is pretty vital in sustaining these pushes, so not going to risk anything. And of course, top lane is by their tier 2. Bulldog gets himself up there with his Necro 3 and drums. So he got Necro 3 Blink drums. Interesting.
Yep. He's just getting whatever item he can with the gold that he has right now to close out the game. But at the same time, I think I would have preferred a Vlad's pickup. I think Vlad's is really, really good, not only on Beastmaster, but for their team in general. It helps the Queen as well as the Sven sustain much better, and it gives them more armor. So, but Drum's not bad. Again, the Drum pop charge on the 25 attack speed is really good right now.
Okay, let's go and end. Let's go and finish off the tier 3 up
they're
top.
going to close out the game. I really didn't feel like they had to pour top for the AM. I don't know, like he's completely useless, and if they see him pushing, split pushing, they're just gonna take everything else in the meantime because they cannot fight against the Aegis on the side of Alternate.
Invoker. In jumps S4, Orchid, Shadow Strike start things off, and Supreme, he's gonna be able to Ghost Walk here, most likely. Yep, healed up and Ghost Walks out with the shards, blocking a little bit onto Alliance. But this isn't gonna stop them. He's Supreme has to go back and heal. He's going to spend a good, 7 or 8 seconds healing himself up and then run back. And also the fact that he has, Tornado EMP. Okay, they're ready now. So he invokes them back up, but Invoke is on cooldown. So Cold Snap maybe going to be a little bit delayed as the BKB from S4 Roar. Nisha's caught and the mana's just gone. Even with that Tornado EMP, they're going to stop the supports on the back, but Loader, Sonic Wave from S4, and they're all dead. Invoker can buy back, but GG is called. The Anti-Mage is in the thick of things, but he's being demolished, can't even kill the Wisp. And Alliance take game number 1.
Yeah, I think this was like the prime example of a tri-lane gone wrong and losing the game as a result. That Undying, the 2 deaths, honestly, it really does like change how the entire game is played out. Because with an Anti-Mage, they have to win that lane or at least go even and not lose the tower, so AM has a place to farm in the game. And as you can see, this AM, he had absolutely no space on this map to farm. Even though Alliance didn't have the biggest amounts of catch between the Dazzle and the Wisp supports, what happens is when they roll over the lane like that, you just don't have a lane to sit on. So I think Alliance just played to a strat very nicely, and they got a little lucky, I must say. Like, again, the 2 deaths on Undying, it just should not happen like that.
Well, Sven basically cruised through that game. 11-0-7, a Loader. Absolute beast on that hero. But yeah, game number 1 goes the way of Alliance. We'll be back in a little while, guys, with game number 2. I can't remember if Danish TV are covering game number 2, so we might have to wait for their time slot, but I'll find out for you guys and see when we get game number 2 starting up. So yeah, a little break for now, but we might have a longer one for Danish TV to kick in.